Hey guys, I just want to start by saying thank you so much for bearing with me the last few months. It has been, I don't want to sound over dramatic, but for real, it's been like hell, and I've had to learn how to navigate through it all, and I'm not sure that I'm necessarily like ready to jump back into doing this, but at the same time I have wanted to get back on track of it for ages with my YouTube stuff, because there's just so much that you kind of experience, especially in terms of the chronic fatigue syndrome, but generally in terms of health and well-being. And so I've wanted to kind of just jump back on here for ages, and I have not felt back at 100%, which I still ain't. I probably ain't going to be for a while, but you know, sometimes your spirit just calls you to do something, and it's like, that's where I'm at, and that's where I've been at. But today I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna get back on, speak to you guys, just give you a bit of an update of what's been going on, especially for those of you that's been with me for the last few months. The first reason why I didn't post was back in February. I caught the flu, and I managed to push through it. I was still going to work, I was still getting on and doing stuff, and within 2 weeks of me starting to feel better, I got it a second time. And then there was an incident that happened, and it's like, you know, when you're sick and you are struggling through, and then something else just comes onto the you know, you just like carrying extra stuff. It just kind of knocked me for six, and I was in bed for a couple of weeks. And then I went to my doctors, and, you know, obviously with my history of chronic fatigue syndrome and, you know, just all these different things that was going on, she decided to sign me off work, which I didn't necessarily realise how much I needed until it happened. And so I got to a point where I was kind of getting over my second bout of flu, and I kind of said to myself, do you know what? My friends were doing a fruit fast, and I just said, you know what? I think my body needs this. And so I done the fruit fast. They done it for 7 days. I done it for 5 because I had something booked in the Saturday. So I done it from Monday to Friday. And honestly, I felt so good for it. So I was kind of starting to just get myself back, you know, feeling a bit more healthy. And, you know, I was in my head, I was like, right, I want to, you know, get back and record. And I actually did record a couple of videos, but I didn't post them. I put one on my Instagram, but I didn't post it on YouTube. I just was like, I don't know, you know, when you overthink things, and I was like, I need to edit and I need to do this. And obviously when you don't have the energy and the mental capacity, if it's something that you're used to doing and you can do it with your eyes closed, that's different. But for me, obviously just starting out, the whole editing process is brand new. So I recorded stuff and then I didn't post it because I was like, I don't want to post it like this, it needs to be edited. Didn't have the capacity to do that. But I was slowly starting to get back on track health wise. And as I mentioned on my Instagram, I was doing CBT sessions, so I probably will talk about that a bit more in another video. But it's transpired however many months later to have been very much needed. I will go into that a lot more, but just in terms of the pacing and looking at my activity levels and stuff like that, it was invaluable. So yeah, I just started to kind of feel a bit more healthy and getting back on track. And my gran was taken into hospital and subsequently passed away within the week. This was literally as lockdown was being introduced and all the restrictions were happening. Now, obviously, people that don't know me won't know, but my Gran was my everything. Even though my mum's always been in the picture from when I was born, but my Gran, when I say she pretty much raised me, I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and my Gran was just one of those people who were like, I don't even know, just so genuine, so real. Yeah, so basically that happened, and it was the hardest thing that's ever happened. And I've been through it over the years, like different things, and also different friends, family members, close family friends that have passed away. We've been through it a lot as a family over the years. But nothing could prepare me for this. And don't when you see the tears, like, obviously I don't want to get emotional on the camera or anything like that, but do you know what, this period of time has it has just shown me so many different things. And so sometimes when people need to let it out, just get it out. It's gonna do no one any good being bottled up inside. And so yeah, so I'm not going to feel any way if I do get emotional. I'm not going to feel any way if it comes out, whatever. I'm human and it needs to be out if that's where your body's at. But yeah, she literally was my everything. And I mean, one, it was very difficult going through it while being in lockdown and having all the restrictions in place. For those of you who don't know and didn't have to have anything to do with hospitals while we were in lockdown, it was heavily, there was heavy security at the hospital that she was at. So there were security guards everywhere, you know, where you would normally be able to walk freely until you got to a ward, you couldn't. Like, you might have been able to go in and get into a lift. That was about it. As you got out of the lift, security, doors were closed, doors were closed, doors were closed. It was just, it felt so surreal, and it was a really difficult thing to experience given the grief and everything else that we were feeling at the time. We were fortunate that my Gran was tested negative for COVID, and so was the other patients on her ward. So the doctor allowed us to visit one at a time, and there was a station outside her room that had, you know, the apron, the mask, gloves, everything. They had to go through with you how to put it on and how to take it off when you leave the room. And I mean, I was so grateful for the few days that we had with her. I mean, we was told within a few days of her being admitted that, you know, she wasn't going to make it. Her breathing was too laboured, and you know, she was basically palliative care. And my Gran hung on for about 5 days or something. I think she was in there for 6 days, but from the time we were told that we could see her, I think we had about 5 days with her. And it was a heartbreaking 5 days, because you're being told that the person that you love with everything, with your core being, is no longer going to be here. But at the same time, the gratitude that, for me anyway, that I felt being able to visit her and speak to her and see her and comfort her and just be in her presence, it was such a conflicting amount of emotions and things going on. And then, you know, and I think all of us, we were just keeping it together and trying to hold it together. And then the day that she passed, you know, because I think you have a bit of hope. You know, you've been told what's to come, but you have faith and hope that actually a miracle's going to happen and, you know, she's going to end up being back at home. And so the day when she did actually pass, and you realise that actually this is the new reality, yeah, it was crazy. And I literally felt like, do you know what I mean? How I felt like, how do I do this life thing without her? I haven't figured that out yet, but I've been trying. I've been very fortunate that I've got people in my life and people in my circle who have kept my sanity to whatever extent. They've helped me to keep my sanity in check. And yeah, I just want to say to people out there who, because you got to remember, there's been thousands and thousands and thousands of people who have died, even if it's not been anything to do with COVID. There has been people that they've said that died of COVID are in the hundreds of thousands or something. And then there's all these other people on top of that that have passed away in this period of time. And I just want to say to you guys, just take it one day at a time. It's hard enough going through it, but going through it during this, you know, anxiety of COVID, uncertainty, lockdown, restrictions, not being able to be around your family, not being able to have a funeral in the way that you would want to have it, you know, going through, there's been so many things, like, you know, seeing and witnessing all these things on social media that were absolutely heartbreaking, that we've been seeing for years and decades, and for some of us experiencing firsthand. But basically all those things that's been in the media and stuff, and all people's experience firsthand out on the streets, that's led to the Black Lives Matter movement of 2020. And I say specifically 2020 because this has been 400 plus years ongoing. But for all those, it has just been a lot. And I got to a point where I had to start muting notifications, which isn't something that I ever done. I never even really noticed that there was a mute thing on the, but it was just too much, and I just didn't have the mental capacity. And going through my Gran's passing, and probably the fact that I was in lockdown and I was in my house and not being distracted by work and external factors, it really showed me some stuff. And I was like, we allow so much things to cloud our brain, our mental capacity, our day-to-day, our time. Like, I don't have time for certain things now. Like, I am the same person at my core, but for example, I don't sit on my WhatsApp for hours on end like I used to, get caught up with all the conversations and what was coming in and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I will participate, but then I realise I've got a very shorter attention span for some of those things. Instagram, I used to be on there for ages. Now I might go in, I'm on there for a very short period of time, and then I close it back. Pinterest, etc., etc. The only thing that has really kept me going and kept me kind of distracted and entertained has been YouTube, to be honest. I've got Netflix. In the last 4 months or so, I've barely watched it. I've just been on YouTube, been very selective of who I've watched and what content I've watched, and you know, I've been quite conscious of what I felt I needed in terms of that whole escapism and taking my mind off things and not feeling heavy and bogged down, because I had enough heaviness happening outside of that. So yeah, there's been a lot going on, and I am trying to get back on track. So I returned to work, and it has been a hard transition, a very, very hard transition. But because I had done the CBT, I had some strategies to draw on and try and implement. And so far, so good. It's happening. It's working in a sense that I am pacing. I'm not doing too much. I'm not trying to do too much. I'm very conscious of the fact that I've got a very minimal capacity. And so I'm not in that frame of mind of, because what used to happen is you have a period where you can't do anything. You might have a total burnout and you're not able to, you know, socialize, get out and about at the house, do your housework, whatever. And I used to, when I felt better, want to like cram everything in and go and see this person, go and do this, go and do that, blah, blah. And I've realized that I don't have the capacity. And if I don't have it, I don't have it. And that's it. It has to wait till tomorrow. And if tomorrow I don't have the capacity, you'll have to wait till the next day. So I just don't give myself too many tasks to do each day. I started off with work being the task on a work day. And now, however many weeks later, I've been able to add in a couple of extra things. Like this week, I've done yoga, 15-minute yoga session. That's through work. That's been really good because it's not taxing. It's 15 minutes. Like it's, you know, and then I have had a couple of days this week where I've gone for a walk at lunchtime, which has been amazing. The weather's been great. So that's been great. But earlier on, I didn't have capacity to do that. So I didn't do it and I didn't beat myself up about it. But how many weeks later, I've been able to incorporate these couple of things. And then on a Friday's my recovery day. So I tend to not do much on a Friday. And then Saturday and a Sunday, Saturday I try and have as like either social time or meal prep or, you know, housework or whatever I need to do. And then on a Sunday, I haven't been very consistent with it because I found that I need the rest day on a Friday, but I found that I also needed the rest day on a Sunday. But my main task for a Sunday is to visit my granddad, because obviously, you know, for all of us, we are absolutely broken. But I mean, he's had a life with my gran for longer than I've been alive, and before I was even thought of, and they lived together in the same house, in the same bed for decades and decades. So I can't even imagine how things are for him. So I try to get round on a Sunday, and I need to get better at it, to be honest. And it might be that I do less on a Saturday to ensure I've got enough in me to get up and out on a Sunday. But yeah, I'm not gonna waffle on anymore. I just wanted to touch base. I just wanted to explain what's been happening and why I've been off of YouTube for so long, and to say thank you for bearing with me. And also I wanted to say thank you to all of us essential workers who have had to work through this monstrosity. I don't even know what else to call it, but yeah, it's been so, I mean, I had some time off at the beginning of it, but being back at work, I can only imagine what my colleagues and what other essential workers were having to deal with right at the beginning. So yeah, thank you very much to all of you guys that's you know, kept things ticking over, kept things moving. Health professionals, you guys are amazing. I know people who literally could not stay at home for weeks and months on end because there was someone that was highly vulnerable, and because they were going into work every day, they couldn't then go home and put their family members at risk, so they had to be separated from them for a long time. So all those sacrifices and everything that's been made, I mean, you know, it's just, I just want to say thank you. There's nothing else I can probably do or say, but I just want to just, yeah, just to highlight it and, you know, not to overlook it basically. And yeah, hopefully from today I will try my hardest to speak about the journey a little bit better, speak about the CBT, speak about some of the other things that I've implemented to help me health-wise, well-being-wise. I can quickly say that there has been a little bit of meditation and that's more recently. I did not have the mental capacity to do that right at the beginning, but recently I've kind of got back into my meditation. I have gone back to doing intermittent fasting. I have gone back with my Weight Watchers, which I started back in 2018. But yeah, I mean, right at the beginning, like when I had the flu for the first time and my weight was just coming down and I was, you know, pretty much at goal, and then I was below goal and my body felt really good. I remember I said I'd done the fruit fast. I felt really, you know, I felt lighter and a little less lethargic, and especially coming off from having the flu, I actually felt okay. However, once my Gran passed and lockdown happened and everything else, you know, comfort eating, stress eating, grief eating, bereavement eating, whatever you want to call it, happened, the weight piled on. And so I consciously said, you know what, I don't want to feel like this. It's not helping me to get back on track with life. So I need to, you know, do stuff to get myself back on track. And those things worked in the past. So that's why I went back to them. And then also speaking to my friends, they felt similar in terms of not feeling so healthy and wanting to feel better and stuff like that. So we then implemented, you know, this thing where we would give up one food or drink item per week and do 50 minutes of exercise per day. And maybe I'll go into that in more detail, but that was really good. And that kick-started me kind of getting back to clocking my points on Weight Watchers and doing the intermittent fasting and stuff like that. And that's my stomach growling. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I am getting there. I'm getting there, and I just want to say thank you so much to my family and friends and my partner. You guys have been absolutely incredible. I probably will have meltdowns galore over the years, over the months, over the coming weeks, whatever. But thank you guys all for bearing with me and supporting me and loving on me. It really has helped. I am looking forward for what's to come. I feel my Gran's presence all the time, and I feel that I'm getting messages from her just kind of saying, you got this, like you can do this, follow what it is that you want to do, you know, like be active in things that you want in life and manifesting and stuff like that. So that's what's given me the push to kind of get back with work and get back with my YouTube. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop waffling. I actually feel like I can breathe. I don't know. Some people will understand. Other people won't. They won't get why, you know, you might feel good from coming on video and talking about your business, personal life, whatever. But different things work for different people. And right now, obviously, like I said, I've wanted to sit down and do this for weeks and a few months. My Gran passed away at the end of March, and it's now the end of July. So there's been times in that period where I've really just wanted to get on and do this and just explain to people, like, I haven't just disappeared. It wasn't that I came on, done a few videos and then just thought, oh, I can't bother with this. Like, life's happened to me and I needed to deal with what I needed to deal with and go through what I needed to go through before coming back on here, doing one video, being MIA for another month, coming back doing another 1-2 videos, being MIA because I hadn't dealt with things. So yeah, I just wanted to let people know, like, this is real life, and I needed to take the time out for my own sanity. But I'm here. I'm glad I've done this video because I just sitting here, I already feel a bit lighter. And yeah, onwards and upwards. And Gran, I love you. I always have, always will. And I know you're listening. I know you're pushing me. I know you're supporting. My Gran's got our back all the way. Always has done. Always will do. Whether she's here in the flesh or not. So yeah, that's the mindset where I'm at. I'm just like, she's with me. She's here. So I just got to keep pushing for both of us. Yeah. I'll speak to you guys soon. I love you lots. I genuinely do, because this is like, whether you want to call it therapy, whatever, I don't know, but I feel so much better when I've had a little sit down and a little chat. So yeah, and for those of you who do have chronic fatigue syndrome or ME, and you're having to try and manage that with bereavement or with the anxiety of COVID and all the uncertainty, the mixed messages that the government's been giving and all these things, all I can say to you is one day at a time, and don't take on more than what you can manage. Like, try to be present. Obviously for us, we have different stages. Like, some of us at the moment will be bedridden, some of us may be in an episode that might not be as severe, some of us might be in a mild episode, some of us might be in recovery. We're all at different stages, and whatever stage you're at, just do not take on more than what you can manage, and just take one day at a time. Okay, I'll catch up with you guys in the next video. Love you lots. Goodbye and God bless.